2003, a guy named Devin Moore stole a police car, somehow got his hands on a gun, and opened fire on the officers who were pursuing him, mortally wounding 3. When he was finally caught, Moore justified his crimes by saying, "Life's like a video game. You've got to die sometime." Farmville is fun for about 15 minutes before you realize that Facebook has tricked you into wasting more time on their site. Now don't get me wrong, an addiction to Farmville would seem amusing if it wasn't for the homicide involved. In October of 2010, Alexandra Tobias was suffering from a crippling Farmville addiction, which really isn't a fucking addiction, when the sudden crying of her hungry baby caused her to ignore any shred of human decency she may have had. She shook her 3-year-old son to death and is now facing 25 years in prison. I sincerely hope she gets the full sentence. It's no secret how big the Wii consoles were when they first came out. You had people auctioning off units for triple the cost online, while others offered deviant sexual favors for a system via Craigslist. There's no denying that it was a crazy ass time. In a bizarre death that could have been avoided as easily as finding somewhere to take a leak or simply pissing your pants, Jennifer Strange died while waiting to win one of the coveted consoles. A local radio station in Sacramento was holding a giveaway promotion called Hold Your Wii for a Wii. It should be pretty obvious what the rules of the contest entailed. Strange drank over 2 gallons of water and refused to use the bathroom, hoping to win the new Nintendo system. Sadly, the only thing she received was death by water intoxication, which was the first time I had ever heard of anyone dying in that particular way before. The radio station was subsequently fined $16 million for the incident. This next case has less to do with being a victim of addiction and more to do with being damaged goods and having easy access to firearms. In 2007, 17-year-old Daniel Patrick couldn't deal with getting his copy of Halo 3 taken away by his parents, and instead of sucking it up and being miserable like all 17-year-olds would have normally done, Patrick decided to lose his damn mind. He unlocked the family's gun safe and removed a 9mm pistol. Patrick returned to his parents' bedroom and told them to close their eyes because he had a surprise for them. He fired and hit both in the head. His father survived, but his mother wasn't so lucky. She died at the hands of her spoiled idiot son. Berserk was an early 80s Atari arcade game that could be found nestled between Pac-Man and Galaga. 2 men, complete strangers to one another, separated by thousands of miles, just so happened to expire in the exact same way, attempting to achieve the high score on Berserk. Jeff Daly and Peter Burkowski both pushed themselves to the very limits of gamer endurance by reaching a high score of 16,660 points. They both dropped dead in the arcade immediately after entering their names in the high score slots. Now that's just fucked up. All Chris Standingforth had to do was stand up. That's it. Literally just stand up from his seated position and stretch his legs and he'd still be alive today. The 20-year-old was famous, well, at least famous amongst his friends, for being a hardcore gamer on Halo. He would endure 12-hour sessions for 2 to 3 times a week. In August of 2011, during his last campaign ever, a blood clot traveled from his leg to his lungs, killing him instantly. Moral of this story? Deep vein thrombosis is not to be fucked with. Though it was a non-violent end, it was an end all the same, one that could have easily been avoided by just standing up for a few minutes.